Hello! A lot of people said they really enjoy my camp cooking videos, so today I am going to make the easiest Dutch oven dessert that you can make. It's peach cobbler with a special secret ingredient. Stay tuned. Okay, the ingredients for this couldn't be simpler. All you need is 2 cans of peaches, a box of yellow cake mix, a Sprite, a stick of butter. That's a stick, trust me. The secret ingredient, some frozen blueberries. Although these aren't frozen anymore, they've been in my ice chest. Now the tools for this that I use, I got a charcoal starter, I got some parchment paper Dutch oven liner. I don't usually use those when I'm cooking casseroles and stuff like that, but for something that's going to be like sticky, like a dessert, I like to use the parchment paper just so it's not a mess to clean up. If I'm doing a casserole, I want it to cook up against the Dutch oven. I like the way cast iron cooks meat and casseroles and stuff. But for dessert, just use a parchment paper oven liner. And then we've got the Dutch oven. This is a 10-inch Lodge Dutch oven. This is a lid opener. You're going to need something to open that lid when it gets hot. And kind of a bonus, you can actually set the lid like that whenever you're done cooking and you don't have charcoal burning on there. And then you're going to need some tongs to handle the charcoal with, because you are going to need to pick up individual and count out some charcoal briquettes. And then I always use, this is a aluminum tray I bought at Walmart. I'll post the size right here. The good thing about this tray is I haven't found a state park yet that has these grills that this tray doesn't just fit perfect in. All you gotta do is lower the grill all the way down to the bottom, put that tray on there, and then the feet of the Dutch oven don't fall through the little grade thing right there. But perfect setup. All right, this is my little charcoal starter. You can see that all right, okay. First thing you want to do, there's a little grill right there. You want to fill this full of paper to get it started. Now, I'm hoping this charcoal I've got will work. This charcoal is probably about 5-6 years old. I don't know if charcoal goes bad. Hopefully it will work and not burn up too fast. Hopefully it will light, all those good things. All right, I'm going to want to light the paper. And cross your fingers, hopefully this charcoal's still good. Guess we'll find out in a little bit. Now we're cooking. Okay, well, the charcoal is getting hot. Let's put this on. All right, so I brought some scissors. I think what I'm going to do is, I haven't used parchment paper in a long time. Let's see if I can do this. What I'm going to do is just do that and cut off this excess. I remember in the past, the paper catches on fire. Sometimes it burns down inside there and then burns up part of the parchment paper that's in there. I'm trying to keep that from happening. Get it as short as possible. Pick up all your trash. Okay, here we go. First thing you want to do is put peaches in. Put them in, juice and all. Then I want to add a little Sprite. Not a whole lot. Oh, there's a gnat trying to get in there. Maybe about half a bottle. Then cake mix. I mean, this couldn't be easier. Some people call this a dump cobbler, because you're basically just dumping things in there. Just kind of spread it out evenly. Hope you can see that all right. I've got a spoon in there, I just don't want to get it out yet. I think I could do it without a spoon for now. I'm going to cut this. This is basically a stick of butter. It's a half a stick of this kind of butter, but these are bigger pads of butter. Basically just cut them in normal pads of butter and sprinkle them around. All that butter is going to melt. The peaches and the Sprite is going to kind of boil. And when it boils, it mixes up the cake mix, melts the butter in with it, and just makes a yummy goodness. Now, this is the secret ingredient. Frozen blueberries. I'm just going to sprinkle them on there a little bit. loosen them up so they're not stuck together. I'll try to do it evenly. Blueberries. And that's what it looks like. Take this opportunity to cut this down a little more. Don't really want it to catch on fire and burn down a lot. All right, let's go this one. And there it is. Charcoal's almost ready. Getting close. Okay, let me take this opportunity to explain to you the rule of threes. Okay, when it comes to charcoal, you can regulate the heat very, very well with charcoal. So I always use charcoal when I'm cooking with a Dutch oven, unless I'm doing chili over the campfire, something like that. But the rule of threes, all you have to remember is 3 under and 3 over. For an example, this is a, you see that 10? This is a 10-inch Dutch oven. With a 10-inch Dutch oven, you want 3 under, so you'll have 7 briquettes under the Dutch oven and 3 over, which means you'll have 3 briquettes over on the top. So you have 13 briquettes on the top, 7 on the bottom. That's all you gotta remember, rule of threes. That works for any size Dutch oven. If you have an 8-inch Dutch oven, 3 under on the bottom, 3 over on the top. Couldn't be simpler. And that makes it a perfect 350 degrees. But you do have to rotate it. You'll see that later. Charcoal is ready to use. So, using the rule of thirds, I'm going to put 7 on the bottom. All right, spread them out evenly. Let's put them in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. Rule of threes. 3 under, so 3 less under. And then we put this on here. Just like that. Always turn the lid. See it where you can read the lodge right there, because every 15 minutes we're going to turn this a quarter of a turn and turn the lid back the opposite direction a quarter of a turn. So lodge is always kind of horizontal where you can read it. Alright, so we do 13 on top. Let's do it around the edge. All the way around the perimeter. Now you see why you have to have tongs. Okay, now using the rule of threes, I put 7 on the bottom in a circle and then 13 on top in a circle. I made it where the lodge is horizontal so I can read it. Every 15 minutes I'm going to spin the Dutch oven clockwise and then flip the lid, spin the lid back to where the lodge is horizontal again. Does that make sense? You'll see. All right, I've got a timer going set for 15 minutes, and then we will spin it. Okay, now I like to turn it about a quarter of a turn and slide that back that way. You can do it with leather gloves, or you could do it with the lid lifter. You can spin it with it. And now we wait another 15 minutes. Got the timer set for 15 minutes again, and start. I did put some more charcoal in here. Since this charcoal is so old, I wasn't sure if it was going to last without burning out to nothing, but we'll see. If I need more, I got more. And it has been another 15 minutes. All right, so it's been 30 minutes total. I start to smell it. That's a good sign. All right, and we're going to flip it. Spin it about a quarter turn. And then spin the lid back where it was. So we got 30 minutes now. I'm going to check it and see what it looks like in 45 minutes. You don't want to open the lid a lot because you lose all your heat. But more than likely it's going to take a full hour to do this. Sure is starting to smell good though. Another 15 minutes down. So we are at 45 minutes total right now. So I'm going to spin it one more time. And then I'm going to check it just to make sure. Sometimes it's ready at 45 minutes. Sometimes an hour. So let's see what it looks like. Try to do this without getting ashes in it. Yeah, the blueberries plumped up. All right, I'm gonna do another 15 minutes. It is smelling really good now. I'm wondering if I need to, yeah, that charcoal, I'm gonna put a little bit more. I'll put 4 more on the top, make a square, and stick a little bit down here. A couple on the bottom, just for good measure. And another 15 minutes. So this is going to be an hour total. Okay, so while that's cooking for the last 15 minutes, let me show you something really cool that the Muzen company sent me. Okay, this company sent me this Bluetooth speaker. So let's check it out. See that okay? Born to be wild. Open here. It's very small. It's got some weight to it, so that means it's got a good magnet in there. It's got a flashlight on the top. It's Bluetooth operated. So it's got the charging port on the side there. USB-C for quick charge. Next selection, last selection, pause. Flashlight, turn on and off, and volume. This is the power. Okay, turned it on. Okay, so the speaker is about as big around as a golf ball. So that's a very small speaker, but it's got some weight to it, which means it's got a good magnet on it. Oh, there's flashlight. As a tribute to Ozzy, I had to play some Ozzy because he just passed away this last week. Change to the next song. So I am like really impressed with this. It's got this cool retro look to it. When it's connected via Bluetooth, it's kind of pulsating like that. Yeah, this is designed by Muzen. Now Muzen also makes a bunch of other Bluetooth speakers. They make bigger ones, and they're all cool looking. I'll put the link down in the description to this. I'll put the link down in the description to their page so you can see all the other stuff that they sell. If this little speaker sounds this good, I can imagine what their bigger speakers sound like. I don't know if you can hear the quality of that, but it's really good. Trust me. Okay, back to the cobbler. We're down to, all right, it's been cooking for 1 hour. So now we need to remove it from the heat. So let's get all this charcoal off of here. Then we begin the cool down process, which I know a lot of people, they'll cook in a Dutch oven, and then once it's ready, if you go the recommended time, I say don't just get it and eat it right away. You need to let it sit for 15 to 30 minutes just to cool down, solidify, and have a much better experience without burning your mouth. So I think I can do this with gloves. We're going to move this over to the table and let it start cooling down a little bit. Be nice to be able to sweep those ashes off of there. If I had a little broom that wouldn't melt or catch on fire, I could sweep those off. If you have an idea, put it down in the comments. What would be something to sweep those ashes off of there with? What I usually do is I just kind of pick the lid up and dump them with the other stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the stuff off of that and let that tray cool down. And I'm going to try to dump these ashes off without getting it in the peach cobbler. It's all a balancing act. All right, there we go. If you know something I can sweep that off with without having to do that, let me know in the comments. Okay, it's been sitting and cooling down for 30 minutes. It's still nice and warm, but it's more solidified to where it's not so runny. Let's take the lid off and see what it looks like. There it is. the true test is the taste test. All right. So get some of that good old cobbler in here. Look at that. Looks good. It smells so good. Hopefully it tastes as good as it smells. Let's see, that's what you want cobbler to look like. It's not really runny, it's just that's perfect. All right, here we go. Still warm after 30 minutes. Oh, that is so good. Cook it for an hour, let it set for 30 minutes, and then let everybody enjoy. This is good stuff. All-time favorite. The blueberries give it that extra little kick. It's perfect. So make this, go camping, make this Dutch oven. One thing I need to mention, if you look at all my Dutch oven cooking videos, you can make all this stuff even if you're not camping. I mean, anything you can do in a Dutch oven, you can do in your oven at home. So take all my recipes, all my Dutch oven cooking videos, and you can make a casserole, or in this case, peach cobbler, and you can do it in your oven. Just don't, maybe do it a little less time, because it takes a little time for the cast iron to heat up and start cooking, whereas in your oven, in like a, say a Pyrex dish or something like that, it's going to heat up a lot quicker. So maybe do it 15 minutes less in the oven than you do in a Dutch oven. But this is a winner right here. Probably the first time I made this was at least 30 years ago. But I didn't know about the blueberries then. At one point I was going to make some, and I just happened to have some frozen blueberries in my freezer, and I thought, well, why don't I take that along and add some blueberries to it. It does give it that extra kick to just send it over the edge. If you enjoyed this video and it gave you some insight to some cool stuff to do while you're camping, hit the super thanks button down below. It just helps support my channel. And as always, I'll always put a link down in the description to all the tools that I'm using. If you click on that and buy from Amazon, you can buy it for the same price as if you found it yourself. But I will get a little kickback because I'm an Amazon associate, and it just helps out my channel. As always, y'all have a good one. So good.